Loki, you're not a villain. You're not.
Look at that. Earlier, I said some really hurtful things.
Nah. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy Sintel with the Intel and the three horsemen. No, it was the three amigos. We are the three amigos. And amigos forever will be. Yo, my man, Rakai. How you doing over there, fam?
Oh, hello, governor.
Hey, and sliding in third, last and certainly not least, my man Chuck.
He's
back. Guy?
What it do, good people? Back again.
Yes, sir. Loki, episode 2. Don't worry if you missed the first one. There'll be a link in the description. You can hop right back into it. Super easy. And make sure you stay towards the very end because we're going to be breaking all of this down and, answering maybe some questions that might arise because, this show's kind of dope. So without any further ado, let's get started. Sylvie over here ordering Big Macs.
You know it, Big Mac.
Universe falling apart.
It's real beef.
Oh, man. It's all about priorities. Okay. Bond. Loki Bond. Go ahead.
But you said you wanted to find Sylvie, right? With Docs and X5 not responding, it's our only lead.
Zaniac. For those in the chat, is that a deep Marvel reference for Zaniac? Because I missed it if it is.
How are the kids? How are you? Mwah.
How do you feel about your meteoric rise to fame?
I don't know how I feel, but I know I look pretty darn good. Come on, look at this.
Oh, and just in case you wanted to know, everybody, this episode is called Breaking Brad.
Oh my God, it's Brad Wolf. Can I get your autograph?
Anything for... Hey.
Oh, dang.
Come on, Mobius. You're gonna ruin my life here. Your life here?
Yeah. He's like, nah, I ain't undercover. This is me for real.
You still glad we're here?
Loki's pissed.
Can't run from Loki.
Nah, you can't run
Look
from
at
Loki.
him.
What you doing? So you gonna make me run?
This just turned into Mission Impossible, didn't it? We got our Ethan Hunt running scenes.
Easy chess. At least we know that they're actually real kind of athletic because nothing irks me more than seeing actors that can't run.
Where's the rude boy off to? Where's the fancy lad going off to then? Oh, did you lose your tickets to the opera? Did you? Oh, perfect. Oh, where you going?
I mean, you remember, you might have hands.
I don't know. It looks like he got surrounded by the Sex Pistols, so he better calm down. The rude boy.
Oh. Houston, we have a problem.
X5. You quit with the magic and fight fair.
Fight fair.
It's not a fair.
Hey.
It's Loki, I know.
Yeah, I like that. Give us a good subtle reminder
Oh,
too.
yeah. Showing that Loki magic.
I didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, but why'd you run? A little over the top, don't you think? All that shadow play.
Oh man, let me flex, bro. Let him cook.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
That's a nice little intro.
Yeah. That was nice.
Somebody at Marvel said, hey, the next series has to be action-packed because the last 4 have been just people talking on living room sofas.
Even though that scene with Dr. Jones, I always forget that dude's name. That was a good scene. It was a talking head scene, but it was still kind of good.
Yeah.
Ki-Hee Kwan.
Ki-Hee Kwan, there we go. Ah, look, he got his collar popped and everything.
Huh. Interesting. Yeah, I can definitely get into it. Do you think this is a higher priority than preventing a temporal meltdown?
Oh, no.
Right. But no hits. With Miss Minutes down, the analysts are running traces manual.
They actually said Miss Minutes' name.
Who?
I screw this back in, right? That's what it said on page 7.
Loki doing tech support.
That's hilarious.
You had that pressed back, did you? It's too complicated. Wait, am I on the wrong page?
It looked like me and Rakai figuring out some technology earlier.
Oh man,
Everything's in the notepad.
man.
Be destroyed. Temporal meltdown or not.
Okay, I'll tell them.
Casey, tell them what you just told
It's a commercial for Geek Squad now.
I heard something, an old conversation between Renslayer and He Who Remains. It sounded like they were partners.
She really is.
Yeah, tracking.
That's not what it does.
Sure.
Yeah. Haven't you read the TVA guidebook?
I mean, okay, most of all, Brad's an asshole, so don't let him get under your skin. All right? Okay, Loki.
So is it good cop, bad cop? Is that what we're doing?
That's what I'm wondering. Or just bad cop and worst cop. Worse and worst.
But weren't you the one blabbering on and on about how we all had lives on the timeline? Well, I went down and got my life. What exactly are you mad at me about?
He got a point.
You're just trying to make up for all the terrible, awful shit you've done in your life, you pathetic little man.
Dang.
For your mother.
Oh.
That's what you do. You lose.
That's how you try to get killed in your cell.
You're a villain. You're good at it. Do that.
Why would you say that? Is this really the time you want the villain in him to come out? Like, this is just stupid.
And perhaps I've been holding something back.
Loki.
Control your little pet, Mobius.
Ooh.
I got a little tense.
He just keep going, don't he?
Brad who? That's Shelvis. And I don't want that to happen to you. So play along with us, answer our...
That's funny.
I'm not an actor, I'm an analyst, but thank you.
You're not an analyst. I'm not a hunter. None of this is real. I mean, who even are you on the timeline? Do you know? I mean, you know they took us. You know they took our lives, and you're still here.
I'm awake.
Yeah, no, you're asleep. You need to wake up, Mobius. And until you do, you're nothing. She's nothing. I don't even know where to start with that, but you wake up. You're just a nowhere man. You're a nowhere man. You're a silly little man. Silly little.
Yo, but he struck a nerve. Like, for real.
Mobius.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Brad ain't wrong though.
No.
X5. My name is Brad. And I'm famous. I got Hollywood movie.
I was just about to say that. I was like, is that all key lime pie?
It is.
Good key lime pie is in green. Y'all want to know.
I never had key lime pie, so. They don't even look like pie. It looks like Jell-O.
If you never look, you'll never know.
The TVA is the only life I've ever known. I like it.
Is that Stockholm Syndrome? Is that what this is?
It sounds like. Sylvie's gonna bust him out.
Yeah, that temp pad was a Trojan horse.
You know, get a few things off my chest.
You're gonna try the hardball tactics this time?
Something like that.
Right. Okay, we can't start the festivities without that little baby. Stand by.
He brought in the Roto-Rooter or whatever the hell that thing is.
What are you gonna do? This one? Okay, great. We're gonna have a little.
My man looked back like.
He did.
Hey, Loki, you're not a villain. You're not.
Look at that. Earlier, I said some really hurtful things.
Nah.
Really sorry about that. Mobius!
No. I want that same energy.
He's like, you know, we
You
passed that.
want that energy? Way past.
Yeah, we passed that.
Mobius, get in here.
I guess
guess there's a learning curve with this thing, right?
Yeah, there is a learning curve. You know, you could kill me with that.
Could I?
It's exciting. Turn it off. Loki, turn it off.
Let me
Or
try
what?
this. Let me try this.
Oh.
Oh. Woo.
Okay, I don't know.
Brad, I don't know if you know this, but I've done some terrible, awful. What's the penalty for a highly decorated field officer abandoning his mission? You and Docs, I don't buy it.
Ooh.
Okay, because none of this is real.
Well, if none of this is real, I guess you aren't either.
Oh.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'll start talking.
I would have told every goddamn thing.
She is. She has a new life.
There we go. Got there in the end. One thing. You said you bailed on the mission.
Yeah, but I found her first. She's on a branch.
Doors open the whole time.
Alright, if I tell you where she is, are you gonna let me go?
You're gonna show us.
That part, I show interest. There's that X again.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, I'm gonna die. Oh, hey, nice to meet you.
You're Ouroboros?
Yes,
You wrote the TVA guidebook.
you've read it?
Read it. I practically memorized it. Will you sign?
Wow, he just met one of his heroes.
He's gonna sign it.
The more those branches grow, the closer this thing comes to melting down. I'll build the device, but you need to find a way in or it won't matter.
Meanwhile, at McDonald's.
It's making me nervous.
I'm not nervous.
Yeah, you're like you want to take off.
I just don't want to be around a variant who killed 400 of our coworkers.
That's a good point.
Feeling.
Yeah.
I'm feeling.
What do you think?
If she's here, I have to find out what she knows.
She's your equal, so tread lightly.
Be ready.
Yeah, but he's also still
blame Brad. Brad is like, I'm ready.
he's
to go.
emotionally compromised.
The most powerful being on that planet, and you're here flipping burgers. Oh. And you accidentally run into your ex.
Yeah. That tries to kill you.
This feels tense.
Look, because she pushed him through that damn door.
I'm not going anywhere if I get some apple pie.
Oh, the old school, the fried apple pies, the original
yeah.
OGs before they went that baked route. Oh, those were so good. You had to be there. You had to be there.
Listen, I haven't got all day. Are you gonna order something? Or what?
Can we talk?
My break's in 5 minutes.
And let's get out of here.
It's a short break, so talk fast.
Her Loki coat and boot are against dress code.
I haven't come here to make trouble.
Then why are you here?
Enchant me. You can see what I saw.
I don't want to see it. I want nothing to do with this. I have no answers for you.
When a woman's fed up.
It's gone.
I thought you were setting us up for an ambush. Hell, you were just setting us up for
Man, that ain't the old school one.
Maybe it's an old school one.
And then I kind of freaked out and basically tortured you. And now here we are, enjoying a meal like gentlemen.
You slapped me in the face. I'm not gonna
I got
forget
you a
that you
shake, okay?
I got you a shake.
No, that makes it all better.
It's not scary. It's elevated thriller. All right. It's cinema. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Oh,
you can't see
it's
it
cinema.
Either, right? You gotta get your.
Elevated thriller.
Is this a setup? Hey.
Ooh.
Hey, what's going on?
Nothing.
He said, huh?
They're gonna die. Orange shirt. She's gonna die. Most importantly, we are all gonna die. This is gone unless we.
Whoa.
They're going to bomb every branch.
Yeah, including this one.
Where do we go?
I'll show you.
B-15 incoming. Go. Great.
She got out her McDonald's gear mad quick.
No, they blowing up all the branches.
That's how they're bombing all the timelines at once. They're all connected to that central control panel.
That's our target.
Well, she said she was gonna do something. She wasn't kidding.
Don't overthink it.
That's what they did to kill the big super monster at the end of season 1, right? The big dragon thing at the end. They joined together and
Yeah.
Some defense. The TVA is the problem. It's broken. It's rotten.
Yeah. She'll be here. I'm good.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Huh.
Wow.
Okay.
That's how you end on a downer.
If you're watching this on YouTube, you're gonna see a cut down version of our reaction because we're only allowed to show you a limited amount of picture-in-picture. But if you wanna watch the whole thing with us uncut, uninterrupted, head over to our Patreon page at patreon.com/Sintel. Become a member of this channel. You'll get access to the full uncut reaction, but you will need your own Netflix, HBO Max, or Disney Plus subscription so you can open up each episode in an adjacent window to our reaction. We'll give you a little time with a small reference video at the bottom of the screen to help you sync up the footage. And it'll be like you're watching it with your favorite pals from the internet. Huh.
Wow.
Okay.
That's how you end on a downer. The pruning of the timelines, like that's what the actor had Sylvie, and they're looking for Sylvie, so she's like the MacGuffin in this.
Okay.
As they're looking for Sylvie, trying to find Renslayer, we find out that Renslayer is out here gonna prune all the timelines back manually. That means blow up so that way the one who remains is still the one who remains.
Okay.
We're not sure when he shows up in the timeline. Okay. All we know is he's at the end of the timeline.
Well, the one who remains has been clipped. So it's not him, it's the brothers that we're trying to figure out. It's the variants of the one who remains.
We think he's clipped, but he may not have showed up in the timeline yet and needed this to happen so he can show up at the very end of the timeline and keep pruning the timelines. Like it's a weird conundrum of where he pops in.
Of time.
Right? Of time. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they prune. This could be the initial pruning of the timelines, and then he comes in and keeps them pruned.
So you're saying he who remains is still a factor?
He's still a factor.
Okay.
Yeah, because the thing is, they went to the end of the timeline.
Okay.
They went to the end of the timeline.
Yeah.
So we don't know when he pops into the timeline.
But they're just assuming it's he who remains, right? Because it's still variations of Kang. It's all just variations of Kang. It could be go ahead.
What we learned about Kang is from the future and he comes back in the timeline.
Right.
We don't know how far in the future he's in. He could be 1 millisecond before the end of the timeline when he's born.
Okay. All right. I had a little bit of like an emotional disconnect, right? So I'm not gonna lie, like there's this heavy moment when billions, if not trillions of people are being clipped from the timeline, but I had no emotional investment as somebody watching to actually care, and I feel like I was cheated out of a moment. Why should I care about that moment? Rakai?
Because for us to invest in this series emotionally is the assumption that we are part of the sacred timeline. And as long as the sacred timeline was saved, then why do we care about any of the branches?
Okay. Huh. All right.
You know, like even if you don't believe in any of this stuff and, you know, it's just a good science fiction movie, right now we'd be like, well, that doesn't affect us because we watching this, you know, piece of fiction, we would be part of the sacred timeline. So as long as they're saving us, we're not off on one of these branches. That's why we don't care.
That's interesting. That's interesting. Let us know. Let me know in the chat what you're thinking regarding that, about your emotional investment in the storyline regarding, you know, the other branches of the timeline, and then the assumption that we for breaking the fourth wall are on the sacred timeline itself. Is there anything else that pops out regarding this? Regarding scenes that stick out, characters that stick out, or even just moments in particular?
Yes, the helper characters, OB and the other guy that helps, how integral they are, Casey, how integral they are into the story. They're not major characters, but they're very important characters in the story. There's not a lot of movies that do that, where you have your supporting cast be so important to the actual story, the progression of the story.
Okay, I feel that. Okay, how about you?
I don't know. I was really interested in X5, where the thing is, what he was doing, what he knew, he disappeared. He abandoned his mission, but he went and inserted himself back on the sacred timeline. He didn't go to a branch. He went because I guess he knew what was happening to the branches, but the fact that still, out of all that, he went and abandoned what he was doing at the TVA and inserted himself back on the timeline. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
Just the whole little conversation between him and Loki and Mobius at first. I thought that was interesting, a real head scratcher. And how could Mobius really not think about what life he would have been leading? I mean, especially when the whole thing came out in the first season about him thinking about the, Sea-Doos and, jet skis and all that type of stuff. Like, and now he's not thinking about it all? Really, bro?
Yeah. One of the all-time great directors of our generation to me is Spike Lee, and he made this little ditty called School Days. And in School Days, Lawrence Fishburne has probably one of the most pivotal moments in the movie when he's standing in front of this crowd and he's screaming, "Wake up," right? Because the culture is kind of like going in this one direction and not seeing the big picture. I kind of held that kind of bit of a moment when X5 kind of said that to Mobius as well. And he's like, yo, all this stuff is going on and you sitting here, you're still playing this role. And there is another version of you, a real you. You're actually facilitating the lie, right? Like, this isn't real. It's like Twitter's not real. The TVA isn't real, but you're actively making this a real thing when there is a very real you, a real thing that was stolen from you, that has been taken away. To me, that was like the pivotal moment. It's like, how do you, like, if you're Mobius, how do you kind of like shrug that off? And then you have that cool little moment with Mobius and Loki as they're eating key lime pie, talking about, their issues. All right, let me ask either one of you can grab the microphone on this regarding the very strange relationship that Loki has with himself. He's definitely narcissistic, and there is no better form of narcissism than to literally be in love with yourself. It's a little weird, but we're running with it. How are y'all feeling about that? And just the relationship with with Sylvie in general.
I'm okay with it. We don't know what timeline Sylvie's on, where she's from.
Well, we do know that she's a variant.
She is a variant.
Right.
But isn't he a variant too?
Well, maybe. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Like, it wouldn't be weird, like, if you saw a version of yourself and, you a dime, and you feeling yourself, but it is you. Like, that's,
it's weird.
It's a little weird.
It is weird because they can't have any kids.
Yo, that's digging way too deep in the shadow gene pool. Man, that's a guarantee. Something's going to short circuit.
Something's going to short circuit. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. It is weird that he's in love with himself, but it isn't weird. It's like, you're everything that I want. You're just like me, literally, just like having to be the woman version of it. I wonder how many other women Lokis are out there probably floating. That were floating around till they got pruned. I mean, they pruned the whole timeline.
Here's the thing I think about. It's weird, but it's not weird.
Okay.
The thing about Sylvie is they're not exactly the same. They're variants of whatever prime Loki is, but who you are, even if you had another variant right now, who you are is a sum total of your experiences. And Sylvie and this Loki have had very different experiences, as they made their way through this thing. So, and that's why where Loki felt some kind of way because of the relationship he had with Thor, and he felt some kind of way when he tried to stop her at the end of the timeline, and she felt a different way. The thing why he would be attracted to her, why you would be attracted to a variant of yourself, is because at the core, you get you.
Okay.
You understand me like no one else on any of these timelines does. You understand me at my core. And why wouldn't that be attractive to someone who, it's not like she physically looks like him and is like, I'm saying, like if you do like a filter and, put some long hair on you and be like, ooh, I'm hot. No, it's not like that. So, yeah, so
it really is your soulmate in a sense.
Yeah, so she understands him, and can get him in a way that, no matter how long you go through a relationship with other people, hell, you spend 20 years with them and think that they understood you, and they did not at all. Because they had their own agenda, their own biases and things to get over or not get over, which a lot of people do not do the work, do the mental, the therapy, the mental health work that it takes to get over some of their past problems. So,
okay.
And another thing, she's willing to do the things he's not willing to do. Like she's the one that always jumps. Like, I'm gonna do this. You're either down or you're not down.
Yeah, that's very true. She's like a very
I
stronger version.
Villain part. Yeah, I'm a stronger version of him. So you have to admire that.
Okay.
Yeah, and for him, it wasn't about embracing the villain part. He was always in comparison to Thor. So it would, and that's why he was never a straight villain. That's why he's the god of mischief. He was a chaos maker because he was always compared to his brother, who's not really his brother, but his brother, Thor.
Yeah. Very, very, very good points. Let us know in the chat your thoughts regarding that. They do some really good, interesting ways of talking about identity within oneself, where your place in the world, your place in the universe, your place to yourself. I haven't really seen it tackled like this. This is just one more little quick one, man, and that is, brand placement is a very big thing, and people in marketing are trying to find new ways to make themselves relevant. I can't remember the last time I've seen something so heavy-handed as McDonald's is in this episode. Is there any relevance as to why it's McDonald's, or is it just full-blown Disney is like, we're gonna take this Disney money? I mean, we're gonna take this McDonald's money.
I swear it's funny when you were just saying something about identity. I was just thinking about that, and I was like, and of all places, she went back to McDonald's. I mean, talk about product placement. And then you brought that out. I don't know, maybe this was 1982, Brockton, Oklahoma. 1980s. Yeah, 1982 McDonald's is not the same as 2023 McDonald's. I mean, maybe that was a symbol of, I don't know, family.
And in Broxton, Oklahoma, if y'all didn't know, the Asgardians, that's where they go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she's gonna be there waiting for them in the future. So when Asgard has Ragnarok, they come there, and she's already there.
That's interesting. Well, that does some interesting things regarding the timeline as far as whatever the next phase of the Marvel universe is going to be. Okay, that's a good place to kind of stick a fork in this bad boy. Just quick closing thoughts, and of course, give out your socials so everybody can shout you out. Let's start with you, Rakai.
At DiamondMind, DiamondMynd. My closing thought on this is, I don't know. This is formed to be very interesting, and it's a little bit different than season 1. Wasn't as much action. I mean, it wasn't super talky, but it wasn't as much action this episode. But I'm still interested to see where this is going exactly. And not only that, how does this affect the MCU as a whole? Because even though they don't do a lot between the TV shows and the film, this is still part of canon, still part of MCU. So how is this going to affect things really going forward?
Okay. All right. Chuck.
Yeah, my socials are at Charles Babb, or on everything: Instagram, Twitter, the Facebooks, the LinkedIn's, everywhere, and the Geekish Network, and that's on YouTube and on Instagram, so you can hit us there as well. My thoughts: I do want to see how this ties in, and I want to see if this show actually gives us an understanding and feeling how big Kang is. Like, Kang is bigger than our last villain, Thanos. You know?
Yes.
Like, even in a snapshot, you don't get rid of Kang. Even during the snapshot, you didn't get rid of Kang. So Kang is always here.
He Who Remains. Oh, that's such a great name. And before we get out of here, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, what you doing? Hit that subscription button. Of course, give us that thumbs up. But the bigger one and the bigger plug, it's not a plug because it's family. That is the Geekish Network. So give a quick rundown of why they should head over to the Geekish Network.
The Geekish Network is the premier Black, Indigenous people of color geek network. We cover shows like this, and we cover other shows for binge worthy, where we binge a season of a show in a week, and we come back and tell you if you should or not. We also have Geek Beast, which is our daily news show. It's currently on Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, but it is a daily news show where we give you all the geek news. Everything from video games to toys to comic books to anime. We talk about it all. And we also have Pod Squadron, which is our Star Wars podcast. And we have a couple of more coming online at the beginning of 2024. And they'll be coming online all the way through 2024 to have a full-fledged network.
Excellent. Thank you. In case you can get all that, don't worry about it. There'll be a link in the description. And of course, make sure you hit that bell icon so you know when we're doing episode 3 of Loki. Man, thank you all so much for being a part of this. We'll catch y'all next episode. All right. Peace.